Welcome to the Weeb Lounge. This is the second video in our little series of anime that I love and anime that I hate. And since we started off with an anime that I hate, we have to go to an anime that I love, and that would be Arifureta, from Commonplace to World's Strongest. Alright, there's a lot of isekai anime out there, transported to another world and to do Dungeons and Dragons or fantasy type stuff, whatever the case may be. Now, Arifureta, I really like this one because it takes a really no-nonsense approach. First, you have Hajime, okay? Hajime and his classmates were transported to this other world, and they don't really explain how they do it. Actually, in the opening sequence, you see like a little magic circle open up, and the school glows, and boom, they're there. They don't really go into it much, or the origins, or their first days. They kind of pick up that they were there for a few months or something like that, and that's where the anime starts. That's fine. I kind of like that they just get into it, right? Well, Hajime, he's a kind of the character who, I guess he's more adept at crafting, right? He's a crafter. He's not very useful in combat. He's an alchemist or whatever, and he's supposed to, make rocks, turn rocks into better rocks or something, right? That's what he's supposed to do. Well, they have to go down this labyrinth, level by level by level by level, to try to unlock these secrets and whatever the case may be, and just, basically, progress, level up, get new weapons and gear, just like an RPG, just like a JRPG, right? But what this one has, some kind of deadly consequences. Now, Hajime, they going through this dungeon, they've run across like a trap or something, right? They get sucked down into a few levels, down, that they're not equipped to handle. They run into like Bahamut or some big nasty thing guarding a bridge, right? And they don't have the power to take this guy down yet. They just do not have the power to do it. So a big conflict ensues, and Hajime actually ends up kind of becoming the hero in this sense. He ends up using his alchemy to make a blockade or something and hold off the monster while everybody gets back, or charges up their fireballs, or whatever the heck it is that they're doing. Well, when he's trying to come back, one of the classmates kind of pulls a quick one, throws one of the bolts instead of at the monster at him, and and if you watch the anime, you pretty much know who it is. The guy's a jerk. And knocks him off the bridge down into the depths of the labyrinth. Like the very bottom, almost, kind of. Really far down, all right? Well, that little betrayal is kind of a shock in an anime like this, and then he wakes up to find himself in a really bad situation. He's wounded, he's hurt, he's at the very, very bottom of this dungeon, or so he thinks, and there's some monsters fighting, okay? And these monsters are really freaking powerful. This bear-looking monster thing, kind of does a swipe at him and doesn't realize it right off the bat, but his arm just got torn off. And right in front of Hajime, the bear thing just picks up the arm and starts to eat it. His arm is gone, and he's eating it right in front of him. Ew. Oh, man. Okay, basically this sends this guy into, like, just crazy stupid survival mode or whatever. He uses his alchemy to try to run away. He's trying to get away from like these wolf-like creatures too, and he kind of burrows into like a rock kind of deep into it, gets inside, and finds this little mana pool in there, right? It's like water infused with mana or something. It can heal you, it can empower you, blah blah blah. It's like a natural occurring mana potion. Think of it that way. Okay, he ends up drinking he ends up kind of stuck in there. He drinks it, he does whatever he can, and now he's starving. He's got to do something, so he figures out some crafty way to trap these wolves, traps the wolves, kills them, and he eats the meat. But eating demon meat, or whatever this is not a very good idea. So he eats that. He feels like he's about to die. His body's going through these changes, but that mana potion that he's sitting there, he's drinking it, he's kind of laying in it, it's keeping him alive through this transformation process. Well, he ends up going from like the weakest character there, and because of this little ordeal, he starts gaining a ridiculous amount of power. He gains the power of those wolves. His body structure changes. He gets bigger, he gets stronger, he gets able to handle magic, he starts absorbing other monsters' abilities. His alchemy, he literally can make a magic gun from his alchemy, a gun, a sniper, a rocket launcher. He made a Humvee appear out of nowhere. He starts getting ridiculously powerful, and he goes from being this character who's kind of just like a wimpy little crybaby type thing, Shinji-esque kind of from Evangelion, a little bit on the whiny side. Not that bad though. Not many characters are as bad as Shinji. But he goes from that to just being flat out badass. Okay? He goes from being this guy who is like the caring individual, thinking about others before himself, to screw everything. I'm dealing with me. You guys can just go F yourselves. I'm right here. I'm doing what I got to do. I don't care if you live or die. I mean, his attitude just like that, it just shifts, and it's awesome. He goes from being this little dork kid to being just major badass. And of course, he has to find some companions along the way, right? He has to go down the dungeon in order to do whatever, right? He progresses down the dungeon, finds Yue, who is an ancient blonde lolly vampire. Okay, this is one of the reasons we kept watching. Ancient blonde lolly vampire? Yes. And their relationship goes to this degree that most anime don't go. Most anime, especially in like harem anime, and a couple more characters will be introduced here shortly, and it kind of starts having a harem-ish kind of thing to it. But there's no ambiguity here. Hajime and Yue, they're in love. They want to be a couple. There's nothing coming between that. Okay? One trusts the other trusts that one. There is no ambiguity there. There is no doubt in their minds. There is no skewing from this path. That's the couple. Okay? Doesn't matter what the other girls think, want, or whatever. That's the couple. There's no ambiguity there. I mean, you watch To Love Ru or Tenchi Muyo or any of those other harem anime, it could be this girl, it could be this girl, it could be this girl. Probably this girl, but it could be this girl over here too. No, this one, it's Yue, it's Hajime, done. It's not going to be Shea or whatever, the bunny girl, the big bouncy bunny girl that really annoyed the hell out of us right off the bat. To us, it was, Baka Usagi or whatever, stupid rabbit or what, but she actually starts growing in power and all this stuff. It actually becomes a respectable character, actually kind of funny, and I actually grew in a few short episodes from hating that character to liking the character. And then you got Tio, the dragon girl who got anally, yeah, that one with the big spike and the thing, that was a little disturbing, but woo. But she ends up joining the group. But also, during this big battle that happens, like late into the first season, there's basically one of the classmates that turned on everybody. Okay? And this is how badass and realistic this guy is trying to be, okay? Yes, he gets through the labyrinth, and they have the fight with Yue and everything, and they get out of the labyrinth and blah, blah, blah. That's kind of a given. He survives. But after finding the bunny girl and Tio and everything, there's this big battle, and it turns out that one of the classmates got a hold of some demon, made a pact or something, and brought this huge army to attack this town. And of course, Hajime ends up, wiping out everything, and they capture him. And he's just kind of like, "Are you my enemy?" And he's like, "No, I'm not your enemy." Screw you. Shoots him in the freaking head. He's dead. Okay, done. It's what in other anime you see a situation like that, something would kind of get meshed over, or in a lot of them they would like heal him or something, and then later on he'd betray him again, and it becomes a running thing. This one, no, you're dead. You're not an issue anymore. Sorry, bye-bye, gone. Badass. That's what needed to be done. There was kind of an underlying reason why he did it the way he did. I'll leave that to you guys if you watch the show. But yeah, it's this guy ends up becoming a total badass, and it is a skew from isekai anime, because you have a main character who is a complete badass who gives no cares whatsoever what other people think at all. It's his way, and that's the only way, period. And of course, he's right most of the time, and all these other characters that they just kind of follow him. They do what they do. You know, he ends up running into some of his classmates and his old teacher, and they can't believe it's still him and how cold he's become. And then, you know, the early episodes with that blood and gore and how dark, really, really dark it was early on, that was just like insanity. But oh man, this is one of those anime that I absolutely love. There's only one season out. I am praying and hoping for another season, and I absolutely love this show. And with that, like, subscribe, hit that notification button. More anime I like, more anime I hate, coming up.